Well, as moms, we sure could use a little help from time to time. Am I right, you guys? Our next guest has a new book out that's full of tiny, supercharged solutions to make everything just so much easier. Please welcome ER doctor, national TV expert, and author of Mom Hacks, Dr. Darria Long, to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Well, I'm so happy. I heard Mom Hacks, and I'm like, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. And is it Dr. Darria Long-Gillespie? Do you go by her Dr.
Darria?
Dr. Darria, then I will do that. Perfect.
Yes.
Just want to make sure everyone knows so they can start following you on social media. But let's talk about why you decided to write the book.
So, Christine, I started to write this book because as an ER doctor, I felt like whatever came through those doors, I've got this. But then I became a patient, and then I became a mom, and I did not feel that way. So I started to say, what are the ways that I can use the lessons I've learned in the ER, my own skills of dealing with my arthritis, to create a system so that every mom can feel like I've got this every day.
Yeah, and talk about how those health concerns, you mentioned arthritis. I'm so sorry, is this something you've been diagnosed with for a while? And how did it also help kind of contribute to your thoughts of, I really want to write this book now?
You know, my arthritis was kind of my lemonade in that, being able to learn and learn from it.
Yes.
So I was diagnosed when I was in residency, and I went from being able to run to being unable just to even stand to talk to my patients. I'd have to pull up a garbage can and sit on it. So it was really awful, and I was told that this is the way it will always be. So I made some massive changes, was able to really take control of my symptoms, so that when I became a mom and suddenly became overwhelmed with my symptoms again, or with symptoms and just with being a mother as well, I thought, you know what, I figured this out once before. How can I take those lessons and make something to help moms?
Absolutely. And let's talk about some of the things that you have in the book. You decide to focus on hacks, which I love, because somehow hacks make it just seem quick, easy, simple, not like these major life lessons, but just more like help us.
We don't have time for the major life lessons, but we know we need something. So I started to research, how do we make decisions and cravings and everything else, and used those for the tiniest effort for the biggest gain, so that you're not fighting your cravings, you're not fighting what you want to do. Good health becomes less of a fight.
Okay, I love that. And you have some that you wanted to share with us. And as we were going through some of these, I thought, well, this is all, again, such great news you can use and ways to incorporate it in your family. So the first one is?
So number one, I want everybody listening, the moment you wake up tomorrow morning, for everybody who has trouble waking up and doesn't have energy during the day, get bright light. Now that can be your phone. That can be bright lights of your bathroom. I have an alarm clock. It seems to hurt, you don't want to do it, but what it does is it shuts down your melatonin production, so you suddenly are more awake. It also helps you fall asleep that night, for anybody who, me included, can't fall asleep at night no matter how tired I was.
I'm the same way.
And then the more you do it, every morning becomes easy. So first thing, bright light.
Leverage the light, guys.
Leverage the light.
I love it. We moved about a year and a half ago, and we have high ceilings, and we get lots of great natural light. And it's one of the first things I like to do is open up all the shutters. And
first thing, it's like resyncing your body clock for the day. It's super easy, and it's good for your health, energy, and your waistline.
Okay, well, there you go. And the second one is break the sugar habit. And now this sounds easier said than done. Actually, my daughter said that our babysitter pointed out that as much it was in sugar that was in one of her Valentine's candies was in one of the power bars. I won't mention which one. And I felt like a bad mom that the babysitter had pointed that out.
Okay, first let's go back to the bad mom. We're going to get to that mommy guilt in just a second.
Okay, good.
You're a great mom, period. And you need to learn, we want to work on helping moms learn to say that ourselves.
Right.
I have trouble with it too. But sugar, let's stop there. 74% of foods in the grocery store have added sugar. So when I see a mom, she's like, I can't lose the extra weight. I have two questions. How do you handle stress, and how much sugar are you eating?
Right.
So to prove that point, we're going to do a quick quiz, and then we'll talk about what to do about it. So, number one, we have a yogurt and a Twinkie. Which has more sugar?
A yogurt and Twinkie. Yeah, well, I would say Twinkie.
Beep, wrong. So the Twinkie has 15 grams, that yogurt has 21 grams of sugar. You're giving your child don't give your child a Twinkie for breakfast, but you are having that effectively. So next one, we have, and this is not just Coca-Cola, any soda, but then we have a green, this is a no sugar added green naked juice.
Okay, we have the larger size in our fridge as we speak. I'm gonna hope and say Coca-Cola.
Nope. Unfortunately, that Coke is 39 grams. The juice has 53 grams of sugar in it. It gets to the point of
What?
juice, which is why I really don't give my kids juice.
Right, and I try not to either, but my youngest
it's
loves
green.
it, and it's green.
So dilute it. If your child really wants it, give them water, but if they really want it, I give them juice as a treat, and I dilute it, a third juice,
Me too.
2/3 water.
Me too.
So do that.
I've even gotten when I'm out in restaurants, I don't want them finishing it, but I want them to have a treat. I'll
Yeah.
say, give me one lemonade and split it and put water
Yeah,
in it. And I'm
not
sure the
bad.
waiter's like, what? But
Who
they
cares?
feel like they're,
Yeah.
right, who cares? And I'm like, hey, it's all about, I make them feel
Yes.
special, but then also, you know,
Dilute it.
make sure
It's
you
so
dilute
sweet.
it.
Okay, last one. People think they're being healthy with a salad, so they have salad dressing. This is a fat-free raspberry pecan dressing or chocolate syrup.
Right. Oh, please tell me the
I
chocolate
know.
syrup.
Unfortunately, they both are the same, 10 grams of sugar. Again, lesson, don't put chocolate syrup on your salad
Wow,
dressing,
right.
on your salad, but instead go for ones, look for the sugar. I want everybody to start looking at the sugar labels because what I call is sugar rehab. I don't want to tell people, just don't go eat that donut. You can't, it's practically addictive. I want them
Right.
first, start by removing the added sugar. You won't even notice it.
Right.
And then weeks later, we talk about in the book, weeks later, you'll find that your sugar cravings have decreased.
Yes, I
Easy
can't
way.
wait. Can't wait. All right, third and final hack you mentioned I was already
Yes.
guilty of is that mom guilt.
Right.
And that inner critic, I'm always just so hard on myself. Part of why I'm sure this happened this morning is getting the girls ready. They're on vacation. They're doing something with a friend's mom. And I'm so stressed because I wanted to make sure she did it. And it's how do we quiet and silence that inner voice, that inner critic?
We talk a lot about that. I do that. I talk about it because I struggle with it as well. We took some lessons from cognitive behavioral therapy. So one is when you get to that moment of, I'm an awful mom, I'm working, my child wants to be with me, number one, just say, is that even true? Ask yourself that.
Yes.
Then ask, what would you tell your best friend? Or what would she tell you? Or what would you tell your daughter? If your child, if they said these things to you. Try those exercises, and then on the flip side, I talk about savoring the moments. We have good moments, but we don't remember them because that's the way our brain is wired. So when you have good moments, when your child says, Mommy, you're the best mommy,
Yes.
write it down because studies show that the more you savor the good moments, the more you actually rewire your brain and start to see that positive more. So
It makes
easy things.
so much sense. And make sure everyone knows about your book signing.
Yes, so it's tomorrow, Barnes & Noble at Barnes & Noble Buckhead at Tuesday, Barnes & Noble Buckhead, 7 p.m. We have book signing from Mom Hacks, and
Yay.
I can't wait. I love meeting everybody, and I love knowing what helped them most.
Well, thank you so much. Such a treat. And once again, find these mom hacks and so much more in her new book. Pick up a copy or just go to her website. It's drdarria.com. Check out that lunch. Again, it's tomorrow night. Maybe lunch too. Tomorrow night in Buckhead at Barnes & Noble. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
It was a
appreciate it.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure for me.